Okay. Hey guys, good morning. How are you all? Good morning, brother. Paragon, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me. ARS, morning, brother. And please make sure that all you have push the like button. Good morning, Danichu. Anal, Anal. Good morning, Anal. Anna, I will call you Anna. Good morning, brother. Murshad, good morning. Can hear. Thank you, Paragon. Bom dia, Jamil. Bom dia, brother. Tudui, Belmont, good morning. Dimar, good morning. RS, loud and clear. Thank you so much, brother, for confirming. I started my day with buttons. No problem, Rishad. Hope for the best, brother. I hope you'll get the boom, brother. Hey, Paul. Good morning. Daniel. Good. Hello, brother. Dora. Good morning, sister. Thanks for the penguin, by the way, Daniel. Jillian. Bonjour. Bon dia. Brother. Bonjour, brother. Teza. Good morning, brother. Jinshit. Hello, brother. How are you? Please make sure that, guys, you have pushed the like button. The only thing I clearly ask for you guys. Would love to start with the calendar for X Factory. I love to use this one. You guys can use any other calendar if you want, but I really go for this for X Factory. Okay. Yeah, please hit the like button. Belmont, thanks for the penguin, brother. I love penguin more than anything else. Julian, thank you so much, man. One day maybe I'll go to a city where there is penguin, lot of penguins over there. Penguin City. I would love to join with you guys around that city where there is penguin. Please make sure that there is no background noise or no echo, something like that. If there is anything like that, please let me know that, okay? Good morning, Jaka. Thanks for the penguin, Sophia. How are you, sis? Jesse Posada, good morning, brother. However, today is Monday. You can see we have PMI around 10 a.m. New York local time, which is a red folder news. No trade is valid before 10 a.m. So if you would love to go for a trade, make sure that it's after 10 a.m. New York local time. Tuesday, we don't have any kind of what to say, I mean the news tomorrow, so no need to worry about that. Wednesday, we have PMI again around 10 and 8:15 non-farm employment change. We don't need to worry about this 10:50 a.m. news because we are not going to trade around that area. But we have to think about 10 a.m. PMI news again on Wednesday. So same like Wednesday, no trade is valid before 10 a.m. Why I'm saying this because I know that nobody cares about this rule, but this is the rules that's gonna save you for longer run. Okay, you're not actually going to get out from the trading industry if you follow this type of things, which I'm saying to you right now. If you don't push the button, don't start your day with pushing button before 10 a.m. That's a habit you are going to build, and that's gonna help you to stay in this industry for longer run. Now, if you don't want to follow these rules, maybe you will get some profit by today, and tomorrow you will blow the account. So ultimately, it's like useless in my opinion. So that's why always give the priority to the red folder news. We are not a gambler. Those people who would love to trade the red folder news, they are actually gambler. So don't be a gambler. Instead of that, try to be a trader. In my opinion, it's not gambling. You don't if you don't violate the rules, they should be followed for being a consistently profitable trader. Thursday, we have kind of 8:30 a.m. Unemployment claims. Don't need to worry about that. We are allowed to trade from 9:30 Thursday. And Friday, we have 10 a.m. T red folder news. So something like for Friday as well. No trade is valid before 10 a.m. However, you can see this is the first week of December. In a in a year, there is three times we should not trade. We should not trade means we should be very conservative around these three times. First time is the opening of the year, which is January. So whole January month as well as first week of February, you should be very conservative. That means you are not going to overtrade, you are not going to try your luck, you are not going to push the market to give you more profits around this time. This is a low probable area. The beginning of the month of the year. Whole January, that means January 1st to January 31. First week of February, whatever it is gonna be, first week of February then you have to be very conservative the last week of August last week. Better the, I mean, last 2 weeks of August, that is better, but at least last week of August, you have to be very careful. Over there, the price action is not going to work. Usually it works, okay? So please take these notes, these two time and the last month of the year. That means December of the year. This is the three times you have to be very careful to trade because it's not the area where you are going to get a beautiful price action. The reason is that is for the yearly PO3, open, manipulation, extension, and reset. So the December, January, and the last week of August. These three times you have to be very, very careful. If you go a bit extend, then last week of November to until first week of February. Last week of November to until first week of February. This is the lowest probable area where most of the people are going to lose the money. You have to think about the psychology people work. This time people would love to make more monies because they have the Christmas on sorry, on December. At the same time, this is the last time of the year, so people actually think like if I can make $5,000, that's gonna bring a good year to me ahead of me. At the same time, with those people who lose the money around December, they think that at the beginning of the year I will do something good, and the rest of the year I'll be very conservative. So this is how they actually lost a lot of monies in this time frame. And August last week is actually the summertime and where most of the school and colleges are actually off all over the world. August last week, love to travel. That time's big big trader, they don't want to stay in the market, okay, because that's the vacation time. As I told, not exactly the last week, but you have to give the highest priority to the last week. But if it is like August last 2 week, that's the better. So overall, the meaning of this whole chit chat is today is the first day of December, and you have to understand that a lot of things is not going to work. So sometimes when I showed you there is a last fair value gap, I'm so confident that this is going to hold the market and market will go for that buy side liquidity. For example, if it was not December, I would hold my idea until it is not going to happen. Now, still I'm going to hold that idea strongly that it is going to happen like that way, but it doesn't mean that I will be right. Other times I'm very confident about that, but now these times I'm not so much confident. If I need to change the bias, I'll change it automatically because I know that the PTRs are not going to work so precisely in this time frame. So I hope that you guys got uh, the intention for saying this, why it is low probable area and what you should do. You have to be just a bit conservative. It's always better if you switch to paper trade for this 2 months. It's always better, but if you can't do that, at least make sure that you are not over leveraging. That means you are not going to take 5 mini contract, 10 mini contract. You're not going to do that. Try to make sure that it's the lowest leverage you are going to use, and you will give it a try like one time, two time with the best setup. If it works, perfect. If it doesn't work, just stop trading in that day, come back again tomorrow, because you know that if you continue this, it will continuously break you down again and again. As it is the lowest probable area, the price action is not going to be reacting so beautifully. A lot of these things are making this area like untradable. You are not able to trade this market over here. However, I hope that you guys got the importance of this area. Not to overtrade, why you should not do overtrade. I would love to go for the price action. As you have seen already that we have 10 a.m. news, red folder news. We are not going to push the button before 10 a.m. news. Okay, so after 10, we'll try to catch some run after 10. Those people who love to use the first presented gap entries, only they are acceptable or they are valid to push the button. Instead of that first presented fair value gap entry, no other price action entry is valid to before 10 a.m. news. Okay? Because maybe you are in a trade over here around before 10 a.m. You push the button, you put your stop loss around 10 a.m. The news quick can did the damage and then it can start to go toward your direction. You don't need to take that risk. Instead of that, you don't need that big run around the news. After the news, if the liquidity is still over there, if it is a highly probable area to trade, you'll get your opportunity to trade over there. However, that is the beginning of this session. I would love to go from the way top to way down. Okay, this is the last week candle, weekly candle. Did you see the weekly candle over here that has traded this volume imbalance? Okay, uh, yeah, যদি ঠান্ডা না লাগে আর কি। Thank you. The weekly candle last week, market failed to trade this gap. You can see over here it failed to trade that gap. This week this market open trade this gap, as I told from the weekly chart. Until this market is below this weekly gap, the volume imbalance or the world week opening gap, I'm not interested to look for that all-time high. Instead of that, I'm more interested to look for this relatively equal lows over here, that relatively equal lows over here, and more importantly until this gap, I'm more interested to look for that area market is reaching for. I'll think like that way. But if I see a weekly candle has closed above this gap, I will start to look for that all-time high and a new all-time high over here, around here. Okay, somewhere we'll look for that later. But right now, until it is below this gap, I will keep looking for the selling opportunity. Here, this is the last week candle. If you mark the low of that last week candle and the high of this last week candle, you will be able to see that this is the 20% of that candle and the 30% of this candle, which I called it DIF. Thanks God it's Friday. Now, here's two things you have to remember. First of all, Friday was not a regular day. That means it was not a full day trading, it was half day trading. So if there is holiday on Friday, or maybe there is a holiday, if there is a holiday, I either Friday or Monday, or if there is a half day, either Friday or Monday, you don't need to worry about that TGIF. You don't need to worry about them. I still kept that line over here just to see if it can actually respect from here, because that rules from ICT himself. He told that if you have holiday or the half day, not a regular price action, then you don't need to worry about the TGIF. I still believe in that, but I don't know why I just marked it. I just kept it on my chart. Okay, you don't need to do that. If you want, you can do that. If it was not a half day on Friday, then what should be my expectation at first? I would expect that it will either trade this line or that line, and then it will start to go higher at least until the 50% of this gap, or maybe to the top of this gap. I don't know where I would look for that, but my first priority would be until it is not reaching to this any of this line, I would keep looking for the sell over here. But as it was like a half day on Friday, last Friday, I'm not interested to look for this 20%, 30%. I just kept it, but I'm not going to focus on this 20% or 30% for myself. But of course, you guys can do whatever you want to do. But I'm just kept it over here. So please don't get confused later when I'll be in lower time frame. So from the daily chart, all you can see that market has cleared some liquidity here, relatively equal lows, and then fall until here. Did it trade any fair value gap or not? All of these things you have to keep that in your mind. In my opinion, it left the liquidity over here. A lot of things is left over here. This market went higher. I was interested to look for that 50% of this gap, and I told that until it is not reaching the 50% of this inverse gap, I will keep looking for the buying opportunity. So finally, market has actually traded the 50% of this gap and went through this gap. I was not interested to see it will respect from the 50% of this gap. I wanted to see it will reach until the 50%. And then I have to decide, am I still bullish, or can I change the bias? However, it has went through the gap, trade that old weak opening gap, as well as you can see there is a bearish gap from the daily chart, which is also the last fair value gap below this gap. In other words, this is the entry fair value gap. However, all of this area market is working as a resistance. Now you need to see that, can this gap over here from the daily chart hold the market, send the market again above this gap or not? If it can do that, I will think about this relatively equal highs, then this last parallel gap, finally one this all-time high, which is going to support the weekly candle to close above this gap. So I don't need to wait the weekly candle to close above this area. Instead of that, I can use the daily chart instead of the weekly chart to think that what is going to happen on the weekly chart. So weekly chart, I don't need to wait until it is going to close above this gap. From daily chart, I would love to use some PTR that will help me to understand that this market will going to close above this gap. I know it's a bit confusing, but I need to know, guys, do you understand what I mean to say over here? Like weekly chart and daily chart. How I'm going to predict the weekly chart defining by the daily chart. Did you got the point? I just need this reply because otherwise I have to break it down a bit more. Walaikum salam, Wakas. Hey Jeffrey, good morning, brother. Thank you, FL Trader, for sharing the Discord link. Please, if any of you are interested to join our Discord, use that link for free. Hey Kuba, was even yet yes understood. Here, okay, thank you so much because sometimes I feel like that I'm making the things complicated. So that's why I ask you guys, do you get the point or not? Because my English is not that good. So, however it is, so I will use this gap to think that can it hold the market and send it higher above this gap. That is gonna help me to predict weekly candle is going to close above this gap. It doesn't mean that I will be right. What else can happen? Maybe tomorrow's candle will come here. Okay, trade this gap, take all of this liquidity. Immediately I will start to think the all-time high. But I can be wrong. In weekly chart, it can make a wick here and then the body can close here again. I can be wrong, but when it will go above here from this gap or maybe a bit below of this gap, I will start to think that it is going to go for the all-time high again above this weekly new week opening gap or this volume balance, whatever you say. I'll start to think the all-time high again, but I can be wrong. Weekly candle can make a wick here and then it can start to fall again. So I'll switch my bias from bullish to bearish again when the weekly candle is not going to support the daily candle price action. For now, I'm just observing this gap to see if it can hold the market, send it higher. If you ask me what is my bias for today, the 50% of this gap. That is my bias for today until this market is above this gap. So if it go below this gap, maybe I can start to think the quadrant level of that specific week, which is actually from the ICT's 2025 mentorship or whatever it is, where he actually used this gap as an immediate rebalanced week. So I will look for that week quadrant levels if it go below this gap. I'm not going to mark this gap. You guys can kept that gap on your chart if you want. Right now, I'm just interested to see if it can go higher and trade the 50% of this gap. It will be much more clear when I'll be in lower time frame. However, from the 4-hour chart, all you can see that market has cleared. Remember that buy side liquid after the big fall, how we break that relatively equal highs. Remember that high, and more importantly, until this area 50% over here. So beautifully it worked, went until that area. From the 4-hour chart, you can see this is the last fair value gap from the 4-hour chart. This candle high, that candle low, which is the last fair value gap over here. So market has traded that last fair value gap over here around this area. Now it is respecting. I'm more interested to see if this gap over here that has been built, if it can hold the market and send it lower, take that low and to trade this gap more precisely to this gap. Can it come here or not? Now from the daily chart, I told that I would love to see if it can hold the market and send it higher for this consequent crossment. Now look at this 4-hour chart when I am saying that can this gap hold the market and send it lower or not. It's called like type of direction, which is 50-50. From the daily chart, it can support the market and send it higher. From the 4-hour chart, it can use this gap and can keep falling. If it do that, if it starts to kept falling, so from daily chart, I will be able to see that it's gonna close below this gap. Okay, so I'm going to predict that market is going to close below this gap. I will start to look for selling opportunity by using the 4-hour chart that I have broken into 4 pitches by the daily chart. 4-hour 6 candle is equal daily 1 candle. 4-hour 6 candle is equal daily 1 candle. So I'm just breaking the daily candle into 6 4-hour candle. Right now, I'm more interested to see on the daily chart, sorry, 4-hour chart, how it is going to react this gap. Now, how do you know that it is going higher and this gap is going to hold the market? From 4-hour chart, for the first time, it will close above this gap here, above this gap. I'm going to respect the daily expectation. The daily bullish fair value gap is holding the market, and market is going higher at least until the 50% of this area. So when the I will see that 4-hour chart has closed above this gap, I'm going to think only about the four daily chart, where I'm going to remember this gap is holding the market, sending this over here. So for our chart, I need the confirmation to make it one-sided. Right now, it is both-sided. It can start to go higher, it can start to fall by using this gap. So it is both-sided. I need to make it one-sided. And how do I know that? When I will see that this 4-hour candle is going to close at least above the 50% of this gap, I will start to think that daily candle, daily bullish fair value gap is holding the market, sending it higher at least until for here. I don't need to hold the trade until here. I'll be able to catch at least 40-50 handle out of that whole run. So this is how I'm going to break the daily chart, 4-hour chart, and 4-hour chart for getting one-sided price action. If it hold the market, send it lower, I have to wait until this daily gap low. Market is not going to go below this daily gap low. There is a volume imbalance as well. You can see here there is a volume imbalance. So it's gonna be too late. I don't think so. It's a good idea to wait until that area. We'll see how it is going to work over here. For our chart, this gap is going to determine which is gonna be the bias for from the what to say, I mean the hourly chart. I'm just watching this lowest down close body close candles over here. They can hold the market. Can this market keep going higher? Right now, if it starts to fall over here, 4-hour chart is going to respect this market. It will start to fall. I will go for that. But from the 4-hour chart, I really, sorry, 1-hour chart, I really don't have anything to say, because there is nothing, simply nothing. All this market came here, trade this last fair value gap or the entry fair value gap, whatever you say, has traded over there, respected this new week opening gap or old week opening gap, respected from there, fall here, there is a gap. Love to see this gap can hold the market or not. Right here from the hourly chart, lot of things you need, lot of monitors. If you don't have the lot of monitors, so you can just skip this information if you want. When the first time it will close above this gap, that is going to confirm that this 4-hour bearish gap is going to be broken. That is going to confirm that the daily bullish fair value gap is holding the market. That is going to confirm that the weekly candle is going to reach until the 50% of this weekly gap. So I'm going to repeat it one more time. You don't need to remember this. If you have multiple monitors, then keep those lines on your chart. For the first time, it will close above this gap. Why this gap? I'm not interested to talk about that right now. That was the last members in live topics over here. For first time, it will close above this gap. It's a bullish for me. This gap is going to be broken from 4-hour chart. I'm going to expect like that. Guys, I have to receive this call from my mother. I just 1 minute. 1 minute. अस्सलाम वालेकुम अम्मा जी किस है আমার সাথে কথা বলে কালকে যখন তুমি সময় পাও তুমি ঘুমায় যাও from the hourly chart. First time it will close out this gap. I'm going to predict the 4-hour bearish gap is going to be broken. When the 4-hour bearish gap is going to be broken, I'm going to predict that the daily bullish fair value gap is holding the market. When it is holding the market, I'm going to predict that weekly chart is going to come until, sorry, weekly candle is going to reach until this 50% of this volume imbalance. That is how I'm going to predict this market for now. From 15-minute chart, until this market is above this gap, which is the last fair value gap to that specific leg, until this market is above this gap, I am bullish for this buy side liquidity. This is from the 15-minute chart. So until this market is above this gap, I am bullish until this buy side liquidity. If it closes below this gap before clearing this buy side liquidity, I will start to look for selling opportunity. If I have any sell side liquidity, I don't have any. I think there is some kind of sell side liquidity over here. I'll start to look for selling opportunity until this sell side liquidity. Okay? So I'll just mark them later. Right now I'm thinking how this gap is going to hold the market and sending it higher for this clean highs, relatively equal highs. So from the 15-minute chart, market is above this gap. I'm more interested to look for buying opportunity until that buy side liquidity. And after that, if it can keep going higher, of course, I'll look for that constant crossment of that area. Or if there is any sell side liquidity market engineer, then maybe we'll look for that sell side liquidity. We'll see that later. Okay, all of the other things we'll see that later. But right now, until this market is above this gap, it's not some kind of random gap. Prior to 9:30, the gap, obvious gap. If you guys remember, before I went to Hajj, I told you how to mark a gap prior to 9:30 to use your direction, or using your direction. Okay, this is that gap that I'm going to observe to see if it can hold the market and send it higher for the liquidity. If it is broken, that liquidity is not taken, I don't care about any kind of buy run anymore. When the market will go below this area, I will start to look for sell again, and if it fall a bit, then closed above this gap again, I'll start to look for buy again. So this is the gap I'm going to predict that market is going to hold and liquidity is going to be cleared. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go for a trade right now. I will wait until 10 a.m. New York local time, find out any kind of buying opportunity. So around 9:30, my expectation market will fall first and then it will go for that buy side liquidity. If you go to the regular trading hour, right now the market is here around this area. Market is here. It's gonna be a huge opening gap. I'm more interested to see go at least until the 50% of this opening gap. Then we will see there is any selling opportunity or buying opportunity, whatever it is for that. But right now, my first intention to see go at least until the 50% of this opening gap that is gonna market is going to build. Thing I explained over here, guys, which is actually the pre-market analysis. Do you guys got that point or not? Let me know that. However, remember this is the old week opening gap, and I'm going to remove that. Will be only on the hourly chart, that TGIF. Okay, remember that. Right now you'll be able to see that this is the low of the new week opening gap or old week opening gap. That old week opening gap is from November 9 2025. From November 9 2025, this is here. It broke above the line when it fall, broke here first, then went higher, broke there, then the low of this new week opening gap is respecting. I don't want to see anybody close below this low of that new week opening gap one more time. Until it is not going to close below this line, I'm more interested to look for buy or the buy side liquidity. My first buy or any kind of buy is gonna be valid above the constant crossment of this new week opening gap. No buy is valid below the new week opening gap constant crossment. So around 9:30, maybe this market is going to fall here. Okay, and then there is a beautiful best 22 YT model. I'm not interested to take that buy or that best setup below the constant crossment of that new week opening gap. If this same setup appeared here, okay, so my pushing button is at the line of the new week opening gap or above the new week opening gap constant crossment. I'm more interested to take the buy from here. We'll try to take a partial to the top of this new week opening gap, or inside new week opening gap there is a new day opening gap. So over here, I'll try to take a partial over there, and then I'll try to hold the trade until this buy side liquidity. More importantly, this gap, which is the entry parallel gap from the 15-minute chart, until that area, I'll try to hold the trade over there. If the setup is below this constant crossman, I will not go for the trade. We'll outline that trade. You guys can take that trade. I don't have any problem with that. I'm not interested to go for that trade just because any kind of buy is low probability while the market is below the constant crossman of the new week opening gap. Best area to take the buy is above the new week opening gap high. If I'm not able to wait until that area, then at least the constant crossment I have to wait to go for the buy. Otherwise, no trade is valid for me. So I hope guys you got the point. Time to wait for setup to see how it is going to be created. So on my left hand side, it's gonna be the the 1 minute chart. On my right hand side, this is that 15-minute chart. Remember, this gap is the 4 hour gap. So let me actually mark change the color. This is the 4 hour bearish gap. What did I tell you? Don't forget about that. Until this market is below this gap, or at least below the constant crossment, it's a bearish market to me. From the daily chart, it's a bullish market to me. From the weekly chart, it's a bearish market to me. From the 15-minute chart, it's a bullish market to me. It's called low probable area where you have both sided run, both sided possibility. Is it going to go higher? Is it going to fall? Like previous days, if you remember, it was one sided. Previous days, I was bullish, only bullish. There was nothing to worry about the bearishness. I was only bullish. It was one sided. But today, it's two sided, and both of the side is high probable, not something like mm, fall is low probability, up is high probability. No, the way this market is trading right now, it's a low probable area to go for one-sided run. Hey Belt, welcome, welcome, welcome. To whom you were saying? Could you please speak a little louder? Okay, there is any problem about speaking, guys? Because I'm speaking much more louder way. Good morning, DMZ. Hey Suzivan, good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. I'm already in 1 minute and you was at, okay, brother, you were awesome. I mean, there is no comparison with you, brother, in Slayer. You are just awesome, brother. So please explain the premium and discount 50 minute and 1 minute. Because I have already talked about that a lot of time, brother. Lot of videos, lot of lives I have dedicated for that, brother. Let me go on, move on. LMK, if you're still having trouble, let me know if you still have any trouble. Thank you, Infiltrator. But I was thinking that my voice should be clear. It should be enough loud. But still, you have any problem? Let us know. Okay? Good morning, Kumar. Kishore Kumar. Good morning, brother. Hey, Sharada. How are you, brother? Good morning, Tamimi. Please take a moment to smash that like button. Either the like button or give me the money. Which one do you want? Give me the money or likes. What do you want to do? Either make the likes 100 or make here €100. Now let's see who is interested to do that. Did any of you on Wednesday? I don't think so, brother. What is short-term bias in time frame and long-term bias in daily time frame and WTF? Brother. Short term I'm bullish, long term I'm bearish. I didn't understand WTF. What does it mean? Hey, sir, Matthew, how are you, sir? Morning, Divansh. Yes, please make sure that you push the like button. If you don't push the like button, I'm not going to move on. Either make it 100 or make it 100. Which one do you want? You wanna give me money? Then you don't need to push the like button. If you don't wanna give me the money, then push the like button. 147 people are watching. All of you want the free stuff, valuable stuff without pushing likes. I'm not going to accept that. Please push the like button or give me the money. Which one do you want? If you ask me for the course, I can do that. I will be rich by your money by selling the free stuff to you guys. I don't want to do that. So please give me the likes instead of money. Money is available. Weekly time frame. I'm bearish from weekly, daily, everywhere. I'm bearish, but from 50 minutes chart, first of all, I'm bullish. Good morning, Jaid. How are you, sir? I saw your past certificate from Tech Top Step, I guess. Congratulations, brother. Remember, no trade is valid before 10 a.m. New York local time. We have a news around PMI news around 10. No trade is valid before 10 a.m. And 45 people are watching. 9 likes. Problem. I'm not even a single trade. No. If it is not 100 before 9:30, I'm not going to frame any trade. You wanna leave? You're most welcome. Decided, thank you. You're most welcome. Yeah, that's why I got confused. Suzivan, I got confused at first. Hey Archana, sister, how are you? You are absent for last few days. I was thinking that where is my sister? She's not here. What happened to her? I was thinking like that way. You okay, sis? Hey Jamie, good morning, brother. Jamie, please give me the likes, man. Okay, still I need 26 more likes. If it's not 100, I promise you, brother, I'm going to promise you, I'm not going to break this promise. For 9:30, if it's not 100, I'm not going to frame not even a single trade. I was here, all good, teacher. That's cool. I didn't know that you were here. I didn't see your comment actually. Confused. That's a good thing. Thank you, sis. Wish I could give you more than one like. Thank you, Susie one. I love you, man. Gangster. No, it's it's the fair thing, right? Like 149 people are watching. I think like maybe some of them are not my subscriber. Okay, so maybe 50% is not my subscriber. At least 100 of you are my subscriber. All I'm asking you day after day after day after day, just the likes, not the revenue, just the likes. You don't wanna give me that. What kind of what it could be, man? Those who are my member, observe this gap. Those who are my member, okay, please observe this gap. Know what I mean? Is 100% fared more absolutely, man. So either push the like button or leave the like. So, good morning, Khurshid. I'm understanding the gap. That's cool, brother. Just observe it. It's not something like go for the trade. For me to go before 9:30. That 100. No, still I need 14 more likes. I promised you I'm not gonna break my promise. If it is not 100 likes before 10, sorry, before 9:30, I will not even frame a single setup. I'll just talk about the hindsight. After the job is done, I'll show you the trade. Oh, there was the setup. Congratulations, Wakas, for your boom, brother. To the wizard, pay attention. Thank you, sir. I will pay my attention. Man. That gap has volume imbalance on both sides, meaning that has been broken yet. My mistake. Thank you, brother, for showing me this. Sometimes I made this type of mistakes. Like yeah. However, you will just use this gap. Think about that gap. Oh, you meant okay. Okay, 91 likes, 9 more likes, 3 minutes left. I have to I have to get the likes like this way. Every day I will start my life and before the 9:30 I will tell that if it is not 100 likes, I'm not going to frame any trade. Man, you are free to go from here, from this life. You are absolutely free. Nobody is going to force you to stay over here. So you wanna leave, you are most welcome. But if you wanna stay, at least you have to push the like button. I know some of you are working and you are just listening to me, so you are not able to push the like button. That's why I'm asking like 100 likes out of 150 people. In 2 minutes, if I don't get 100 likes, I'll not even frame a single setup today. Still need 4 more likes. Hit the like. Please do that. Dora, hit the like. Absolutely. Very demanding this morning. Very demanding, brother. Last month of the year, right? I have to take a bit more risk here to frame a trade. But I'm not confident, so I have to use my brain more here. When I'm going to use my brain more, I need the payment. Payment is likes. No money, nothing. Likes. So either push the like button or leave the live. Simple. 1 minute fair value gap starting at 703 has price left a sign on that is that it will run. What do you mean by that, Daniel? First fair value gap starting at 703. What type of first fair value gap? A new thing to me actually. Now I got 100 likes. Thank you so much, guys. The like button. 930 100. Now I'm safe. Rest of the time you will not going to push the like button. I'm all cool. This team hit like being at work and was blackmailing. Come on, guys, press the like. And I have 3 years training watching me, and this guy is the best. Wow, that's a big compliment. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. So much, brother. 9:30. I have to go for the regular 10. Hmm. So market has just opened. Just remember, no buy is valid below this dotted line. If I would love to take a buy, it should be above this dotted line. My interest is until this market is above this gap here, until it is above this gap, sorry, this gap, I am bullish for this buy side liquidity. If the market closes below this gap, I'll start to look for sell. No more buy is valid. Means that 4 hour bearish gap is going to hold the market and send it lower. No trade is valid before 10 a.m. New York local time. You have to wait until 10 a.m. Then you can go for it. That lost 100 euros. Yeah, we lost 100 euros, man. Oh man. Take the likes now. I think it's already more than 100. Yeah, it's already more than 104. Thank you so much, guys, for pushing the like button. Trade for short 125 lots. Because level going up. I don't know what do you mean by that. If you are bearish, try to take the sell wherever you find the opportunity. Good morning, Hamad. How are you, sir? When the market is falling, do I really care about that? Absolutely not. You know that why it is falling. Before 10, if I see the setup, I will just frame that setup. But remember, it's not valid to take entry before 10 a.m. We'll just frame the setup and we'll see if it works or not. How it is going to work. We'll look for that. But no pushing button is valid before 10 a.m. Good afternoon, part trader. Sachin, good morning, brother. Mark this gap over here from 1 minute chart. Or what else you can do? Just go for the lowest down close body close candles here. 1 2 3, mark the open, extend it to your right. Market structure shift, not a beautiful way, not the best, but if it shift this high, that's gonna be the best here for the shifting market structure. Liquidity has been cleared here. Buy side liquidity there on my right hand side. There's the buy side liquidity. 50-minute last fair value gap. Trade this market to the lowest down close body close candle, which is the order block from 15-minute chart. Extend it to your right. Trade that 15-minute order block. Market structure shift. Fair value gap. Buy side liquidity above the constant crossment here. Above the constant crossment. Buy side liquidity. But remember, we are not going to take this trade before 10. We are not going to take any trade. Okay, just let this go by observing it. Within 5 candle is the gap, the 22 YT model. Liquidity has been cleared here. Here, entry from this gap, partial at least 1:1, which is gonna be here somewhere. Here, 20. That will be the partial. Remember here, with the depending on the 22 YT model. Target is this buy side liquidity. After clearing the partial over here, got the entry immediately by the first candle after the market structure shift. The first candle gave you the entry. This should be the partial. Target is here. We'll just observe it. If any of you take the entry, don't tell me the boom. Okay, so just remember that. I don't wanna break your psychology. I don't wanna do this type of things, but I'm trying to show you if there is no news around 10, that would be my entry over here. Stop loss below the candle which has built this fair value gap. I'm not able to put the stop loss here because it's gonna be like 46 candles. So I'm going to put my stop loss below the candle which has made this fair value gap, and just 1:1 partial. Go for that buy side liquid. Hey Marbra, how are you, brother? Paper trade for me plus 19 194 tick. My practice I treat as real scenario, so done for the day. Congratulations, brother, but it's not done yet. I'm more interested to see that should be the partial. Target is here. Okay, if any of you are in this trade, don't tell me you took that trade. Just write down boom or something. I don't have any problem, but don't tell me that you took this trade. Please make sure that. Those people who are my member, and I told you to observe this gap, actually I was wrong because I didn't notice this is the volume imbalance. So inside this volume imbalance was never that gap, you know that, right? So this gap doesn't have any value right now. You can just remove this gap, because at first I saw this gap has been broken here, but to be honest, when Suzivan told me there's a volume imbalance, I didn't notice that. So you have seen that I have marked it later. I see. So partial should be here, which is 1:1, and then we'll try to hold it until the buy side liquidity over here. Right now it has tapped to the new opening gap high. See this new opening gap high? That's why I told that to take the buy. Look at the buying opportunity. Look at this gap. Where is this gap? On my right hand side. See, this is that same gap. Is that below this consonant crossment? No. Is that above the consonant crossment? Yes. So your entry is going to be above the consonant crossment of that new week opening gap. From there until to the top of this new week opening gap high, it's your safe zone. That means you are confident that market is coming here at least until this gap, which is inside this new week opening gap, this new day opening gap. So until this area, you are safe in a safe zone, and then reach until this area for buy side liquidity. More importantly, until here, at least here. Okay. Maybe you took this trade partial, stopped out to the break even. Done. Partial, stopped out to the break even. I tried a short and got break even after partial and being up 50 points. But brother, partial is gonna make you profitable. That's all, brother. Still you are profitable. See how it is randomly respect the high of this new week opening gap as well as the new day opening gap, which is inside this new week opening gap. These two blue line, okay, over here. I'm going to remove this one. If any of you were in this trade, entry, partial, breakout to the break even. Sorry, stopped out to the break even. Done. But brother, it didn't give you the boom over here. It didn't go over there. That's why I told you the partial is more important thing. You have to take the partial. Then you will let this go if it go for your buy set on. If I didn't have the news around 10, this was my buying opportunity from there. The buy, only buy, okay. And as I told, like those people who are only valid to take the first fair value cap entry, that was their first fair value cap entry. Remember what did I say? You have 10 a.m. news, so you are only valid to push the button from the first presented fair value cap. Tap here, gave you 25 handle, close your trade. Simple. We will wait 19 more minutes. For 10 we are not going to push the button. After 10 we'll see if there is any opportunity. I prefer I prefer this liquidity is not going to be taken before 10, okay? And the 50-minute candle is not going to close below this 50-minute fair value gap. That's all I'm expecting. Don't chase the market by both way. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Don't do that. You do that in longer term, that you are losing more money rather than making it. Be one-sided. If you are bearish, look for the bearish setup. If you are bullish, look for the bullish setup only. If you are wrong in that day, come back tomorrow. Then trade tomorrow. Don't go for buy, sell, buy, sell. Don't do that. The funding takes account purchase yesterday. Did you use my code T2 wizard, Khurshid? However, guys, I saw that some of you are interested about Lucid prop firm. I had the code with them actually previously. I didn't know that. But I'm just not saying that you should use that. If you think Lucid is good, legit, trustworthy, then you can use the code T2 wizard, okay, if you want. I'm just I just don't know that how legit there. Thank you so much, Krushi. Thank you so much, brother. You can use the code T2 wizard for Lucid if you feel good to done your own research, okay? In a year, you have to give 2 months for good price action. It's not a big demand, I think. Write about two account with your code. Sharada, which account, brother? I mean, which one? Funding ticks because they have a great deal right now. Now it went to target for short, of course not. Remember, I what did I say? Sell is only valid if the 50-minute candle close below this gap. Here, this gap, okay? It's not showing on my 1 minute chart, but on my 15-minute chart, this is the only gap I'm seeing. My sell is gonna be valid if and only if this market close below this gap. Over here, see this candle? If it close below this gap, then and only then I will start to think about sell. Either, sorry, until then, it's a bullish market to me for this buy side liquidity. More importantly, 50% of the, I mean, the opening gap. Funding ticks. Thank you so much, brother Sharada, for using the code, man. I love you. Both of you, man. Yeah, funding ticks is a great deal actually right now. $38 for 50K account. Awesome. Since it 1 minute created liquidity 545 candle. 540. It has cleared the liquidity actually, not built the liquidity. It has cleared that liquidity. This flow has been cleared over here. 545. Oh, bicep liquidity. You are talking about the bicep liquidity. Yeah, that's cool. Cool, that's cool. I have this bicep liquidity, so I actually don't need another new bicep. However, those people who are my member and where I have explained old farewell gap, right? Observe this gap. Now, unfortunately, you know what is missing over here. The end is missing, but just observe this gap. It's a very important gap now. Was up going 25 3 5 2 fighting. No, brother, hear the what you are saying, brother. Look, I'm I really appreciate guys to all of your thoughts, but it is very clear. This market is very clear. There is no confusion, there is nothing. Until this market is not going to close below this gap over here, I am bullish. This market will go higher, clear that highs. See this highs? It is going to be cleared until it is not going to below this gap. No fighting, no confusion, nothing over here. Simply we have nothing over here. It's a clear cut price action. Market closed below this gap, I will start to look for sell. I don't know how far I have to look for the sell because I don't have any sell side liquidity. Maybe for this relatively equals, maybe I don't know. Until this market is above this gap, this is a bullish market for this buy side liquidity. And more importantly, until this red line, there is no confusion, nothing. I'm waiting for the 10 a.m. news. If I didn't have the news, I would frame more trade over here. See this candle when it has closed above this area. Look at this gap over here. Gap. When it has closed above this gap, I would try to take the buy from this gap again. That means if it come back again to this gap, that's my buying opportunity. Now, as we have the news around 10, I'm not going to try to catch this run from here, not trying to even catch this run until this liquidity. If I didn't have the news, that would be my buy here. From there, by putting the stop loss below this area, just put it below this candle, would take the buy here, hold my trade until this area after clearing some partial around 1:1. So here, then my way, I'll hold my trade until here. There. By believing that not even a single body is going to close below the 50% of this gap. Just look at this gap. This entry is not valid right now. Not that entry. Because we have a news around 10. Think that I don't have any news. Just think like that way. That would be my buy. Nobody is going to close below the consonant cost. This will be cleared, and more importantly, market will come over here. Watching. It's not a valid trade right now because we have a news around 10. News can send the market much more lower. The weak can did the damage, or market can wait for the news to go for this liquidity. Just because of that, I'm not going to take this trade. Otherwise, that would be my new buying opportunity. That means I have missed the buy here somewhere. Okay, market didn't give me the buy over here. I don't care about that. I would hold my entry. That means this candle close above this gap. That next entry I would take the buy over here. As it didn't close above this gap, instead of this candle has closed above this gap, so I have missed the trade over here. I don't care about that. This candle has closed above this gap. This next candle is my buying opportunity. From there we'll take the buy here, go for the partial 1:1. Okay, so here let me keep it until here, till here, partial, hold the trade until here, keep watching. In the meantime, nobody is going to close below this dotted line. Wick can go a bit lower, there is nothing wrong, but bodies are not going to close below this dotted line. Wick can did the damage, that's why my stop loss is below that candle, like one handle, two handle below that candle, and then we'll hold the trade. First this line, partial, then for that line. Keep watching. As we have the news, I'm not framing this trade. I didn't have the news, that would be my trade. That would be my trade. I don't care about that fall. I know why this fall is happening over there. I don't need to worry about that. It's a very clear cut market. There is no confusion. There is no kind of if and then, nothing like that way. It's one sided, at least from the just over look over here. Is there anybody? Let me actually switch box from my one mind chart. Look at this. How many times did I show this to you? Maybe 10 thousands of the time. Maybe 10 of the thousands of the time body is not going to close below this consonant crossband. Sometimes shit happened. Sometimes I'll get stopped out. It's not something like, well, like 100% of the time it is going to work. It's not something like that. Something 90% of the time it will work. If you know this small logic, until it is not going to close below this consonant crossband, it's a perfect buy until here, and more important, only there. Watching the lowest down close body close candle or candle is the order block that should be respected. This is the candle that should be respected until this liquidity. Why you are not then pushing the button? Because we have news around 10. The 10 a.m. news can send the market lower. Weak can stop me out, then can take that buy sell. Maybe it's not going to happen. I'm just not interested to take that risk. After 10, if I don't get the opportunity, I'm good. You took the entry over here. Don't tell me that you took that entry. Just don't tell me that. Do whatever you want to do. I'm showing you the price action. At the same time, I'm telling you the risk as well. If you follow the things I'm showing you and it is happening again and again, use it. If you see that I'm cherry picking something, like cherry picked, don't use it. Those people who are my member, they already know that how I could use this gap, even breaking all other rules, how I could use this gap. Unfortunately, there was no trades, so to be honest, but this was the gap. Even it is happened here, I don't care about that. I know how to use the gap with confidently, so much confident. So there is no fighting, there is no confusion, there is nothing. It's one sided. It's not bearish, it's a bullish market. That should be the partial. Okay, that should be the partial. After taking the partial, I'll close my trade over here. Simply think like that way. I don't even need to hold it until here. I don't need to hold it until here. Or maybe I'll take the second partial over here. We'll hold the trade until there. I don't care. I know that it's going to clear that line 100%. And then if it can reach over here, that's my luck. That means, okay, I got a better opportunity. If I miss the trade here, I don't care about that. If I miss the trade here, I don't care about that. I know that I'll get my entry over there. But brother, it's in deep premium. No, it's not in deep premium. I've already shown you the premium and discount logic. It should work with the premium gap or premium area. That specific leg. It should work with the premium area. It should not go to the discounted area. I respect if you don't write, I mean, if you don't tell me that you took this trade, I respect that opinion, okay? But yeah, you would love to write on boom for me. I really appreciate it, man. Like, it will help me to be more encouraged. But please don't tell me that you took the entry. It's a request. That's look. So do I need to care about this? All of this bullshit. I know that what I'm doing here with the explanation. Is there anyone who can tell me that I didn't say? Okay, who is here? Who can't tell me that I didn't say until this market is above this gap, I am bullish for this line. More importantly, until here, I am bullish. If the body closes below this gap, I'm not bullish anymore. I will start to look for sell. I just don't know how long, but I will start to look for sell. Was there any confusion? Was there any something like, oh brother, I really don't know what is going to happen or something like, or was that a bold statement? Until the market is above this gap, I am bullish for this line. More importantly, until the opening gap 50. If the body closes below this gap, I don't care about that liquidity anymore. I will look for sell only. Was there any confusion, or was that a bold statement? Until here. After that, what is going to happen? I have to rethink. So around news, I will wait to see what is going to happen. Okay, like here, entry there, close there, 65% boom. Why didn't you take this trade? I have a news around 10. I didn't take it. I know that what I'm doing. I will try to find next entry opportunity. I don't need to catch that run. I don't need to catch that run. I don't need to catch here. This is also an entry opportunity from this candle. Who doesn't know that? I believe that you know that. What is that candle is has done over here? No, you don't need all of these things. Okay. 50% of opening range gap. Absolutely, brother. No confusion. Absolutely, brother. I heard you say that loud and clear. Thank you so much, FL Trader. That's clear. Thank you. Dora, yes, you did explain. Thank you so much, sister. Giving you a boom for your always good analysis. I did not take the straight boom. Thank you so much. I respect that thing, brother. If you say that I didn't take it, I respect it. But if you took it, just keep it in yourself. I don't wanna inspire any of you to take entry before the red folder news. I don't wanna do that. I'm showing you these things when the time is good. Go for this trade. Build the confidence from here. Tito, you're the wizard. Thank you, Jamil. Thank you so much. Hey, Jinchi, thank you so much, man. Thanks for the penguin as well. War trader. Thank you, man. 25370 is my target. Your target can be anything, brother. Problem with that? Filmon, thank you so much for the boom, brother. Boom, even though I didn't take it. Congratulations, my brother. I respect it, man. Look how it is respecting the 50% of this opening gap. Love to see. Can it now go for this liquidity market left over here? See the relatively equal lows over here from 50 minutes chart. Interested to see can it fall for this liquidity right now over here. Okay, we'll see that. So after the news, we'll see if it can provide us any kind of selling opportunity. Or if it keep going higher. Okay. I'm going to remove all of these things. I hope that it was a very good learning session, or at least good learning things for you guys. Please don't forget to push the like button and subscribe to our channel if you are new over here. I know guys it's for free and people don't give a shit about the free stuff, but if you give up, you pay your attention, I promise you brother, you will learn more than anywhere you have ever spent your money. So whatever course you have done, whatever mentorship you have done, the things you are going to learn from this stream or this guy, they're much more valuable than anything you have ever got about these ICT concepts. Boom shakalaka boom. Hey trader boy, how are you brother? I'm now interested to see if it can fall for this liquidity, okay? To be honest, just not something so confident, but would love to wait for kind of confirmation. Okay, sell side liquidity over here. Interested to see if it can fall for this sell side liquidity. As today is Monday, and even though it has uh, finished the TGIF, I have already explained why that TGIF is not important to me. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. This is the news candle. I knew that this news candle is going to be happen like that way. I would tell you, brother, go for that buy, go for that buy. I didn't know the news is going to happen like that way. Sometimes the news read for the news is too dangerous. You have to be always careful about that. It's random. How many times did I show you this? How many times? I have shown this. We interrupt this holiday break for a roast. Call that here. Interrupt the holiday. I'm going to use this gap as an inversed way now. Remember what did I say? When the body is going to close above the consonant crossment, at least the more is above this gap. I will start to follow the daily chart where the daily candle came to this bullish fair value gap. Now it is respecting this bullish fair value gap. We'll start to go higher for the 50% of this line. Okay, so from the daily chart is going to be supported by the 4-hour chart. That bearish gap has been broken over here. I would love to see it will work as a support, send it market higher again. Okay, from the hourly chart, if you remember what did I say, when it will close above this gap, around here, above this gap, around this area, it's my new opportunity to take a buy from that gap. So it will fall the top of this gap. That's my new opportunity to take the buy from there, from that gap top. Now I'm not interested to keep it on my chart. You guys can keep it, and those people who are with me around this morning session, you guys can keep this in your mind because it's a very important gap. Morning, weekend, I mean Friday. Right now, I'd love to see if we can fall a bit more, then go higher, higher again. Need to see some kind of liquidity, and if it close below this gap, I'll start to look for the sell side liquidity again. It close below this gap. Otherwise, I will try to keep looking for the buying opportunity. First, I need to see some kind of liquidity to be taken. This low is a good area to think about a liquidity to be taken. But I have already the SMT. Whoever is my members, keep this on your chart open. This open on your chart. Find the confirmation. I'm going to remove the opening gap. You guys can keep it on your chart. Removed it from my chart, okay? Of course, Kuba. Of course. Hey guys, please don't forget to push the like button and subscribe to our channel if you are new over here. By the way, guys, when it is actually building the setup, I'd love to talk about a bit kept here. In a long time, if you guys remember about this platform, Earn to Trade, I'd love to remind you guys right now they have 60% discount. Use the code T2Wizard, that's the same code. But the funny thing over here is, remember, used to code the wizard. Like, I'm going to show you the T50. So, the Eval account, 3000 is your profit goal. End of the day, drawdown $2,000. Daily loss limit $1,100. You don't need to worry about the activation fees because they're going to happen after you get the payout. And you don't need to worry about the buffer as well. If you can make 139 plus 100, you'll be able to request $100 as your payout. It's a great opportunity to build a 400k. I mean, you guys can look at this EARN2trade.com. You guys can check this out, okay? It's a great deal, to be honest. You keep holding like here when you'll pass the evolution. Now you have the live account. If you go for the trailing drawdown, you'll be able to move it until here 400. In the meantime, you will get your payout. So every single time you will target, profit target will be hit, you will be moved to the next level. At the same time, you will be able to request your payout as well, 80% of your whole profit. You don't need to touch the profit goal. Whenever you will get the opportunity, you will be able to request the payout. It's a great opportunity. It's gonna cost maybe $76, but I think more less than $76. Yeah, something like less than $76. I mean, think $66, something like that, maybe something like that. Okay. However, $76. Sorry, yeah, $76, something like that. So you will be able to request your $100 at the beginning. So you are now out of the risk. That means whatever you have paid for the challenge, it's already on your account. Then you can give it a try until here 400k. Then there will be a fixed limit, loss limit fixed, and end of the day drawdown or something like that. It's a great opportunity to spend just $76 to get a live account for 400k. However, guys, you guys can try this. Okay, make sure that you have used the code T2 wizard. YM is not supporting the idea. Consolidation. Trade the upper quadrant of that 4-hour gap. Remember the gap I showed you on the 4-hour chart? This is that gap I'm talking about here. That is the gap. The upper quadrant of that gap has been traded. We'll have to see if it can keep going higher. So far, till now, this is the high which is valid for market. Don't have the fair value gap yet. So let's see if it can build a fair value gap over here for a new buying opportunity. The last gap. Let's see if it can provide us that. Remember, if the body close below this gap, I will start to look for sell again. IM is falling. Skin. IM is not supporting my idea. By the way, guys, my chart is not open. Sorry, my chat is not open. I will already open my chat, okay? I still am not able to blow the take profit trader funded account. I tried it, I was failed. So I'll just try to trade today. I'm a bit greedy today. Just try to make some profits. That's why my chart is open on my phone, so I'm not able to read any of your comment. I wanted to blow it, but I was not able to do that. Just until I'm not going to blow that, I'm happy with that. With that account, a bit greedy, but yeah, we'll see. God. Guys, on Discord, please don't give me the friend request because I'm not able to request, I mean, reply to all of you in personal message. I'm not able to do that. So you don't need to give me the request on Discord. We can talk about everything on the main room. So, like, if you have any confusion, we can discuss that to the main room on our Discord. I think it's fair, okay? I'm single guy, so I just can't reply to all of you separately on the Discord. I really appreciate it, man, but I hope you will understand my situation as well. If you have any issues you want to discuss, let's just write it down to the main room. Maybe mention my name. If I see that nobody replied you, I will just try to reply that if I feel like it should be replied. Okay? I hope you'll understand my situation. Market is a bit consolidating. Let it consolidate a bit. No worries about that. No need to rush. We'll see what we can do. Right now, I'm more interested to look for buy only. Sell side liquidity was interested to me when I started to respect the 50% of that opening gap. When I saw these candles, I wanted to see it will go through this line, everything dramatically or speed with speed toward that liquidity. When I have seen it's not interested to go for this sell side liquidity with speed, I'm not interested to take the sell until it's not going to close below this gap. In the meantime, for the first time, I'll get an opportunity to take the buy. I'll try to take that buy. And though the target is very small, at least I'll try to take the partial over here and then hold my trade as long as I want. So I've got the market structure shift. If there is a fair value gap, I'll take the buy from this fair value gap. It's my 22 YT model. If there is a fair value gap, I'll try to take the buy from that fair value gap. Why am I still not supporting the idea? Bearish. There is no fair value gap, so I don't need to worry about that buy because there is no fair value gap. I don't need to worry about that. If there is a fair value gap, I would try to take the buy from there. I will take the sell if and only if the body close below this gap. You can ask me why. Why this gap? First of all, if you look over here, that same gap I'm talking about, okay? This gap is below the new week opening gap high. So here we have the new week opening gap high. See this line, which is the new week opening gap high over here, line, very small line. First of all, it has to close below this new week opening gap high, and more confidently it is going to close below this area, which is going to confirm that okay, I have lower time frame support as well. Until it is not going to close below the high of this new week opening gap, no sell is valid because it can hold to the market, send it higher, as well as that is the 50% of the 4 hour gap. Remember the 4 hour gap, that is the 50%, so it can keep falling until here and then it can start to go higher. I'm just not interested to take any kind of sell until it is not going to close below this area, which is going to help me to take a sell until to the low of this new opening gap, and more importantly for this sell side liquidity. Otherwise, every single time it will give me a buying opportunity, I'll try to take that buy. I'm not interested to look for the sell until this is not going to close below this area. If it close that area, then maybe I'll start to think about a sell. Otherwise, I'm more interested to think a buying opportunity. And now you've seen they didn't change the algo. ICT, what did he say? They didn't change the algo and it works just like the day I shared it with you. ICT has shared something that later. Selling opportunity for you, go for the sell. I'm not interested to take the sell from this gap. Instead of that, if it even inverts this gap, I'll try to take the buy from that gap. It's more confident for me to take the buy from this gap. I'm not saying to go for that buy, but I'm saying if I were trading here, I'm not interested to take the sell here. Instead of that, I would love to mark this gap over here and would love to catch a buy if it is broken. In the meantime, if this market is bearish, of course you know how to use this same gap to take the sell. So right now I'm not interested to take the sell from this gap. It's a very important gap, a very important gap. Still I'm not able to take the sell from this gap. It Okay guys, I'm going to take the first buy actually from this gap. If the body close above this gap, I'll try to take the buy from there. I'm not asking any of you to copy the trade. I'll go for this. Okay, let me keep it here. I'll go my funded account to go for this trade. If the body closed, remember, body didn't close, no buy. I'll take 3 micro contract entry and later I will try to add more if I can. The body will close above this gap, entry is valid. Body didn't close, no entry is valid. If I miss it, I will miss it. No problem with that. You can see the market is a bit see this YM is bearish actually. And if you see the NQ is bullish and the ES is consolidating. It's not bullish or bearish, kind of a situation where it's kind of like not correlated, so any kind of trade is a bit risky. But still, according to the all the logics, I'm more interested to think about a buy, see if it can catch that buy. Trade this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. See here, there's a 50-minute bullish fair value gap. Trade that area as well as trade the inverse gap upper quadrant from the 4-hour chart. Took the liquidity again. This low has been cleared again. Swing high for shifting market structure is valid swing high for shifting market structure as well as this inverse gap. I have a lot of things here. Just need to apply them. That's all. No sell is valid above the new week opening gap high. No sell is valid. Whoever would love to go for the sell, please take that sell. I don't have any problem with that. I will take the sell if and only if the body close below this gap. Then I will start to look for selling opportunity. Until then, I will not go for any kind of sell. I will look for a buying opportunity. You can go for sell anytime you want. If any of you would love to mark the 22 IT model, you can mark it like this way. Liquidity has been cleared here. Low has been cleared. Trade the 15-minute bullish fair value gap. Swing high for shifting market structure. Market structure shift, fair value gap, boom. You can think like that way if you want. I'm just not interested to mark the 22 IT model. Instead of that, I would love to use this gap to take my buy. So I'm more interested for that gap to be inversed and to take the buy. At the same time, you can get the 22 IT model for the precise buy example. It's up to you guys. At the same time, whoever is interested to look for sell, please go for that. I will not take any sell above the new week opening gap high. I'm not interested to take any sell above the new week opening gap high. I'm watching the quadrant levels from the 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart, that gap, bearish gap, has been broken. Next candle open, trading maybe until the 50% or to the upper quadrant, starts to go higher, at least until this rejection block. More importantly, until this 50% of the new opening gap or the old week opening gap. I'm more interested to see it will go above, higher. If it started to fall, I will wait this gap to be broken, which is also going to be below this 4-hour gap over here. I'll see this as a fake breakout, and then I will use this gap to take the sell. All of these things are aligned with each other if you look closely over here, which is also going to be below the new week opening gap high, below the the 4-hour bearish gap, below everything. I will have no resistance over there, but until it is not going to happen, I will take no sell over here. No sell. Right now this gap doesn't have any, I can't use it right now. See if I can get a better entry below that gap. Till now I'm watching this 50% of that inverse gap, 15-minute bullish fair value gap over here, new week opening gap high. Here is the new week opening gap high, new week opening gap high, the strongest fair value gap, which is inside the new week opening gap, the new day opening gap inside the new week opening gap. So I have a lot of resistance over here that can stop the market, send it higher. So I'm bullish. YM is extremely bearish. Extremely bearish. Going against him. Okay, I'm going to get back to the chat again because I don't think so very soon I'm going to get the entry opportunity. I mean, here was the opportunity, market didn't give. Let's stay a bit more, see if it can provide any. Come on, brother, move somewhere. Market is not moving anywhere, just consolidating around the same area. Typical Monday. Came, fall, tap to the high of the new week opening gap. Inside the new week opening gap, new day opening gap, we made bullish fair value gap, 4-hour inverse gap, concurrent crossment. All of this thing has been perfectly respected. Can it keep going higher now? And whoever is thinking about sell, whenever you will find the opportunity, take the sell. I will not take the sell until this market is above the new week open gap high from 50-minute chart. I'm not even thinking about any kind of sell. No sell is valid while this market is above the new week opening gap. You can simply avoid these rules if you want. I'm not gonna avoid these rules because even if I go against the news, I don't care about that. But I don't wanna go against the new week opening gap or new day opening gap. Can't go against them. You are allowed to do anything you want. I'm just not going to do that. So 30 minutes left before closing this candle. Would love to see if it can close below the new week opening gap high, or is it respecting the new week opening gap high. Just don't get confused. The new week opening gap high is this line. This is the new week opening gap high line. Okay, that line, new week opening high. Need this gap anymore. It's been hold. If the market is consolidating, you have to be it patience before going any kind of trade. It's not moving anywhere. Just consolidating from 10, the 10 a.m. candle from 10 to until now. It's just consolidating, not moving anywhere. Give it a bit more time. I decide where it would love to go. Let's look at them how they're reacting to the top of the new week opening gap high and this gap. The reaction, I love the reaction from them. The market close one tick below this gap. I'll take the sell from this gap. And those people from the last live, keep that line on that chart, that gap on your chart, and remember what I explained about this gap. Please try to remember that. I'm not bearish. I'm not saying that I'm interested to do that. But if it do these things, that means closed below this gap, one tick below this gap, I'll take the sell from this gap for the sell side liquidity. Giving some kind of partial to the top of this gap. Go for the sell side liquidity over here. But I'm not interested for that. I'd love to see it will keep going higher. It is a buying opportunity. I'm more confident to take that buy instead of taking the sell. But if I force to take the sell, then I will wait for that kind of scenario to take the sell. Or maybe I'll let this go. It's like up to you. I prefer to take the buy only. Whoever is to take the sell, you're welcome to take the sell. Go for that. 9 is good. Please, if you are with me in our last live on Friday, observe this gap the way I explained this gap. Just remember what did I explain and why. I'm just try to focus all of the things I explained over there. I'll try to take the entry from the concurrent crossment because the stop loss is gonna be too much for me from the open. It's gonna be like 40 handles. So I'd love to try to catch my trade from the 50% of this gap. Okay. But you remember the entry is valid from the low of this gap, the old gap. After the body close. If the body doesn't close, no trade is valid. Remember that things. First body has to close below this gap to take the sell. Until then, I'm not interested to take any kind of sell. If it provide me a buying opportunity, I'll try to take that buy. But sell is gonna be valid if and only if the body is going to close below this gap. Otherwise, no sell is valid. Any kind of buying opportunity it will provide me, I'll take that buy. The power of this gap help you to refine your trade or entries. Helps you a lot. I'm going to remove this because market didn't provide me that false sell. Okay, it's all the false fall over here. I really don't care about that. I'm happy to see that this market started to go higher again. That means it is going to help me to take the buy. Not taking the buy right now without any kind of model, nothing. You remember two gap, you have to wait for two gap. One and the next gap is gonna be your buying opportunity without the market structure shift. So if it built two gap, then and only then it's gonna be a valid entry. Otherwise, this market will fall and then will come back again. Then you will be able to use this gap to take the buy. There should be two gap first. Market didn't go higher, closed below this gap, sell from there. Brother, it should be one-sided. I don't have buy side liquidity, I don't have sell side liquidity. It's both probability. Buy, sell, both are probable. Here it was one-sided. Now here it's both-sided. I prefer to go for the buy. It is easier for me. I mean, according to my higher time frame, it's preferable for me to go for the buy. But if it provide me sell, I will have two opportunities. First, I can let the sell go. Second, I can take the sell and will try to make sure that my stop loss is very small or I will take my partial as soon as possible. So sell is low probability to buy is high probability just because I'm going against the new week opening gap. Nobody has closed inside this new opening gap yet. So the high of this new opening gap is still respecting. That's why sell is low probability to buy is high probability comparing to sell. It has built a gap here. See this gap, very small gap from 1 minute chart. It has built this gap here. Any kind of gap it is going to build here, that's my buying opportunity from that gap. Any kind of fair value gap over here, that's my buy. All I need to cover 50% of this gap. Try to connect this gap with all of the people who were with me last Friday. Try to connect this gap. Forget about this gap right now because it was used for the sell. Need two fair value gap. Remember, one, two. Just two fair value gap is gonna help me to take the buy. I don't know that it's gonna give me the entry opportunity or not, but if it provide me the entry, that's gonna be my buy. But here, there, I just don't know it will give me the entry or not. Here, stop loss has to cover the 50% of this gap. Now, as you can see here, it's 1929 handle. I'll try to take the buy here. It's my opportunity, sorry, my thinking, and will put my stop loss here, just below this gap. Target is buys. Just yeah. By the way, if it doesn't build the gap, well, this buy is not valid. Okay. Entry should be from the top of this gap here. Stop loss 26 handle. We'll go for a 26 handle partial here. We'll try to take the partial around 26 handle and hold the trade as long as you expectation. Nobody is going to close below the 50% of this gap. Wick can did the damage. That's why I put my stop loss a bit below here. Okay, just a bit below here. That should be the partial and hold the trade like the low of this gap after clearing the partial 1:1. However, I didn't take this trade to my funded account because it was too fast. I just didn't take that trade over there. Go for the premium and discount, but it should not come below the consonant crossment of that premium and discount leg. Remember to take the partial over here. Whoever is in trade, you have to take the partial over here, and then you can hold your trade as long as you want. That should be your partial level. If you don't take the partial over there, it should be 1:1, which is not bad, like 28 handle, 30 handle, something like that. Please make sure that you have taken the partial. Better to take the partial to the top of this gap over here, the top of this. It's always better, and then you can hold your trade until this gap low. But make sure that you have taken the partial, please. You are safe until this is not going to close below this gap 50%. Below this gap 50%. You're safe. If it close below this 50%, then you have to start thinking about trailing or stop loss. you mark it until the volume imbalance, you'll be able to see that nobody has closed below this gap yet. So I'm happy that still the body respected this gap. I told you that until the body doesn't close below the dotted line here, below this dotted line, you are good. You should not be afraid of this trade. It is still working. But if you see a body has closed below this inverse gap, it means that more interested to reach until the breakaway gap, which is here. Parallel gap, the lower one is the breakaway gap. Now, it of course can reach until this breakaway gap, there is nothing wrong, but I won't be able to in this trade anymore just because it's gonna be huge stop loss, right? To cover that breakaway gap. It's gonna be huge stop loss. So I have to give the highest priority this inverse gap concurrent crossment that it's not going to be broken. Sometimes the wick did the damage, that's why my stop loss is a bit below of this gap, inverse gap, a bit below of this inverse gap. For the first time, it will close above this lowest down close body close candle. It's gonna work as my order block. I'll move my stop loss below this candle. Okay, you don't need to follow my trailing stop loss. Please don't follow my trailing stop loss. It's a request to all of you. Okay, so I would love to work with the PDRA. If this PDRA is going to respect my idea, this order block should hold the market, send it higher. So when the body is going to close above this candle, I will move my stop loss from here below that order block. Expect that this is going to hold the market as a block, send it higher. You don't need to follow my trailing stop loss. Please don't do that. If any of you are in this trade, at the same time, whoever is thinking about sell, please go for that sell. Wherever you find the sell, please go for that sell. This line is the upper quadrant of that inverse gap from 4-hour chart. So if I go to the 4-hour chart, you'll be able to see that, yeah, it came until here, till the bodies are respecting the 50% or maybe the upper quadrant of that inverse gap, which is the 4-hour inverse gap. However, I didn't have the order block, so I didn't move the stop loss. I need a body close above that line first. Find out my order block, trail the stop loss. Until I'm not getting it, I'm not moving my stop loss. I'll keep it here. It doesn't mean that this is a logical level to put the stop loss. It's not a logical level. I just randomly put it over here because just covered that inverse gap. Randomly I put it. I don't know that weak will did the damage over here or not. I don't know that. All I believe the body is going to close above the consonant crossment. Now you can see that's 26 handle, which is going to support my idea of the maximum stop loss, as well as I have covered the 50% of this inverse gap. Weak can fall a bit. I hope that I'll be safe over here. I'm not going to get stopped out over here. But if I would love to go for the real stop loss, it should be at least below this candle or below that candle, which is nearly impossible for me to put. So I will take that risk over here randomly, and then I'll try to go for the trade, see if it can give me at least the partial and this high, which is the don't make it 50 handle. Till now I don't have the water block, so I'm not moving my stop loss. When I'll find the water block, I'll move my stop. Till close one tick above this line, I'll move my stop loss below this candle. I repeat, don't follow my trailing stop loss. I love to do that just because I love to work with the PTRA. Here the PTRA should hold the market, send it higher. I would love to believe him. That's how I'll move it. It doesn't mean that it's kind of guaranteed. Okay, so sometimes you'll see that it will just stop me out and then it will work so beautifully. I don't want any of you to take that loss. I just would love to go by my way. You will manage your trade by yourself. It's up to you. Taking a bit consolidation, but overall it's good. The first thing is why it fallen here. You'll be able to see that this 50-minute candle open started to go higher. There was no manipulation for that candle. First market fall made the manipulation for this 50 candle. Now is the expansion time. That means market is going to expand now. Well, I need a body close above this line that I'll be able to move my stop loss. 15. Now my stop loss is okay, because now it's the order block. You see, this body has closed. Next body tap to this order block. I would love to see it will go through this last travel gap now. This is the this is the last barricade that can stop the market, send it lower again. The only barricade. So I need speed through this last travel gap right now. The reaction from here sent the market here has done. This is called the reaction. You are my members, you already know what is the reaction versus reversal. This is all the reaction. This is the reversal. Now this market is going to give me the reversal. Here, try to make sure a 1:1 partial, like 27.8 handle. I don't remember how was that. Something like 26 handle, something like that. Try to take the partial over here and hold your trade until that should be the partial. Whoever in this trade, take the partial over here, put your stop loss to the break even. Now, after hitting already hit partial, but one that should be the partial. Put your stop loss to the break even. I don't care. It will go higher or not. It will fall again on. I don't care about that. You have the ability, take another partial over here, hold your trade until there. I don't have any problem with that. It's always better. Take some partial over here. It's a 50 handle run by 26 handle stop loss. 50 handle run is not bad, right? It's better if you close the trade over here. If you don't want to close it here, make sure that you have taken another one partial. Let one run to go until here. I just randomly make it 50 handle. I know that I should have taken the partial to the rejection block, okay, but just tried to hold it for 50. And then after clearing the partial, you guys can hold it until the low of this gap. I just gave you 50 handle. And you can hold it until there. I don't have any problem with that. For me, just 15 handle is more than enough. I think uh, you got the boom. If you got the boom, please write down boom to the main comment box. I clearly told you how to plan this trade. It was no confusion, nothing. I just told body close below this gap, sell is valid to me. Until the body is not going to close below this gap. Why this gap? I also explained that. Then I told you I need two fair value gap. One is here. See this one? I need two fair value gap. So first gap was here. Let me actually remove this gap right now. First gap was here, and let me remove this line as well. Here, the second gap, body should not close below this constant crossment. Sometimes weak did the damage. I just randomly put my stop loss here so that I don't get stopped out over here by the weak. Market spent a bit time, made the order block, moved my stop loss below the order block, trade the order block, hit the target, and as I told, until the low of this gap over here. So that could be your maximum target. Okay, I'm just, it's up to you, brother. Okay, it's kind of like 100 handle, okay, something like that. If it can reach over here by taking all of this partial, can hit your steam target over there or not. I prefer if you guys write down boom to the comment box. Let me open. Come on, push baby. I need to go early today. Hey Ahmad, you're so quietly watching. Haha. What happened, guys? Have seen the boom, and now it's time to boom that like button into oblivion. Thank you, Samimi. Ahmad, perfect boom. Thank you so much, brother. John Vestula, boom. Penguin, boom. Thank you, man. If you're finding value on Tito's stream, please consider liking and sharing. How many days we are going for the boom again, again, and again? How many days it's been? Last time, when did I take the loss? I don't remember. However, but not kind of cherry picking by explaining everything to you. Very specific way, right? Thank you, Russ, for the boom, brother Dragon. What did I tell you? Remember the premium and discount, guys. So those people who are observing the premium and discount. So high premium fair value gap, deep discounted fair value gap, maximum it can fall where? 50%. I didn't mark it. My eyes was telling me this is more than enough for that fall. Right? The 50% equilibrium. Worked with the premium gap, boom. So those people who were interested for the premium and discount, I stopped watching them. It doesn't, I stopped showing them to you. It doesn't mean that I forgot about that. It's always in my mind. The premium and discount, it's always in my mind. I'm just not focusing over there. You should focus, right? Thank you, Ahmad, for that boom. By the way, did you take that trade, brother? Ahmad, you're my haters. So I need to ask you. Hey, Vilmon, thank you so much for the boom, brother. Inversion IFZ wizard. Boom. Congratulations, Dora. Okay, is there anyone who took that buy with me? Just need, would love to know, okay? So today I framed some trade. It doesn't mean that I need to go for this trade, right? That was a trade first here, 2041 handles. Let me random way. That was the first trade I showed to you guys, remember? And that was the next trade I showed you, and I told that no need to go for these trades. And stop loss was below this area. That was the next trade that has provided you like 80 handles, something like that over here. And this is the third trade I showed it. I don't need to go for this trade. I don't need to go for this trade. I know that I'm going to get this trade. So I don't need to take the risk before the 10 a.m. Even though it's so beautiful, I don't care about that. I'm going to get this opportunity again. If I miss the trade from there, I will try to take the entry from order block, depending on the stop loss. However, this is a very simple logic. Every time you are going to use, you will see that it's gonna be repeated again, again, and again. Not 100%. Sometimes it's not going to work. That in your mind. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Paul, thanks for the boom, brother. If you trade a boom, bam. By the way, who was in this trade? Okay, a lot of comments actually. But thank you so much to all of you guys for that boom, brother. I hope that, brother, I'm showing you something in a logical way, and you got it. Okay, you should get it. Who was in this trade with me? You didn't take it because I'm framing it. You took it because you are expecting the same way. I told that selling is low probability to me. I would love to go for the buy. By the way, I would love to show you one more beautiful. Just before the last run, just before the last run, look what the body tap. Just before the last run, new week opening gap high. Tap, boom, tap, boom. Beauty of the new week opening gap. Now, guys, who was in this trade? That was a beautiful trade. Thank you, Marbra. I took the trade. Okay, Sophia, you got that. I got you. Is there anyone who was in this trade with me? So many booms on your stream that security is gonna come have a look. What's going on? Jeffrey, you were in this trade as well. Okay, thank you. At least I got two guys who are in this trade with me. Thank you so much for both of you. If you have one runner, you can let it go until the 50% of this gap, okay, brother? I'm not going to say that, brother, I knew it is going to happen. I just told, for me, 50 handle is more than enough. But if you have one runner, you can let it go until this 100 handle. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, then it's good. However, guys, I have already talked to you this about this earn to trade. If any of you are interested, please use the code T2Wizard. It's a great opportunity, a cheaper price. So to be honest, it's really awesome opportunity. If any of you would love to go for that, please make sure that you have used the code T2Wizard and you can research it. If you have any confusion, we'll talk about that later, okay? And the most important thing is this funding ticks. They have still that 50% discount. Same code T2Wizard. Still they have that evaluation status. All you have to do, you have to make it the 50K account. Payout cap should be 1000. And if you use the live account, it's gonna cost 38. If you use the end of the day, it's gonna cost $45. That's all you have to pay. End of the day means, you know what is the meaning of the end of the day. Live means trailing drawdown. It's gonna cost $38. That's all you have to pay. And end of the day means like end of the day, whatever it is. This for the funding tips. Yeah, please make sure that you have used the code. Wow, I got some donation as well. Thank you so much, Dora. I love you, sister. And Sophia. So much, sister. I love you guys. Thank you, Archana, for that boom, sister. Congratulations, sister. Khalid also took that. Jeffrey also took that. Jinshid is laughing. I don't know. Did he take that or not? But guys, remember, it's not something copy trade. I'm not inspiring you to take my trade. I'm inspiring you to take the entry by yourself, thinking like me. If you do that, you are learning. Just don't copy my trade, okay? It's a request to all of you guys. Please try to understand that. In the trade, hey Nis, thank you, brother, for that boom, brother. The trade expecting sniper line, but in this case, better was your setup. Thank you, Baragan. Yeah, it was about the premium and discount, brother. So I didn't expect it to go for the sniper line. If it would go for the sniper line, I would start to look for the sell opportunity from here. But if you are looking for the sniper line, that is the perfect area to think about the sniper line. So if it can fall until the sniper line, that is the best case of scenario. For me, here it should not go to the sniper line over there. And first of all, you don't have the market strength as well. Of course, you don't need to think about. Me too, bro. I let 1 minute run out till now. Okay, let it go until the 50%. Okay, just remember until the 50% of this gap. Don't hold it more than 50%. It's a request, brother. I mean, you should do whatever you want, you think, okay? But if you ask me, don't hold that trade more than one tick above that dotted line. If you ask me, the dotted line is 25,434.54, so from 0.25. Don't let it go more than that dotted line. It's my request. Obviously, at last, it may be your decision. Still holding. Hey, NQ Slayer, congratulations, brother, for your boom. Belmont, thank you so much, brother, for the penguin. The trade with you, great trade. Thank you, Ben. Let's celebrate first super on live stream. Let's celebrate it. How to celebrate? I don't know how to celebrate it. Hey, part trader, thank you so much, brother, for that donation. I'm getting a lot of donation. Thank you so much, guys. But remember, I'm not asking any of these donations. People are giving me by themselves. I'm not asking any of them. I really appreciate. I really love that. I know that I'm making some jealousy people like Tamimi Mahadi. They're going to start jealous, but it's okay. I'm not asking any of money, any of your money. They're just appreciating. That's all. So some of you are new. You can start to think that okay, so this guy is framing the trade so that he can get some money from us. I'm not interested about that. Hope that you guys will understand. However, hey guys, it's 11 a.m. already, and I think it's enough, more than enough. Okay, so those people who are with me around the last Friday live, you will observe this gap over here. This is the first thing you will observe. You will follow the things I explained. This is the same area. You will look for that. The second one was here, around there, which didn't happen actually. But that was the gap. You will look for that gap as well. Why I was saying sell from that gap, how you are going to know that is this gap, that gap. This is your study, this is your home, what to say, and home test or something like that. I don't know how to say that, but this is your homework. Okay, this is your homework, this gap and that gap, that's your homework. So do the homework, please. Yeah, anybody has any question? If you have any question, let me know, otherwise I will just close the stream after getting that uh what to say, that donation. I'm really happy because I don't know they will be able to take that back or not for 27 euro. Okay, so I will get on a oh, Apex has 100K account, $69 all in, all other accounts 80% of $40 activation code T2P. Okay guys, I didn't know that the Apex has the fund. And this is the Apex, so still they have the offer 80% 1 day left. Okay, that's cool. For Apex only we have the code T. Those people who are interested about Apex, make sure that you have The code T2T. They have 80% discount right now. Opportunity. Oh, however, Lucid. Okay. I saw that on Discord. A lot of you are talking about this Lucid. To be honest, I'm not supporting or I'm not inspiring any of you for this Lucid. But if you think it's legit, you think this is good, there is no problem. You guys can use the code T2 wizard. Okay, so if you want, you can do that. I'm not promoting it right now because I'm not confident about them. I need more review, more feedback about this lucid trading. But if you think it's good, you can use the code T2 wizard if you want. You'll get the link. I'll share it to the Discord. So, hey TP, hello brother. Marbra is earn to trade fund, future firm. It's a future firm, brother. Marbra, it's a futures firm. Earn to trade. It's by the way. Let me share the link of this guys. I don't know. I'll share the link later. Earn to earn to trade. That the futures prop firm. You are able to trade through the, and I am a futures trader, so I'm only promoting the futures prop firm. No CFD or something like that. This is really great opportunity, in my opinion. If you go for the evaluation, you are allowed to trade with them. Just use the code T2 wizard, not this one. T2 wizard is the code. And just ask any question if you have. There help desk here. Ask a question. You will get the reply very soon. But the funny thing is, you don't need the buffer to get your payout. All you need 139 plus $100 to get your first payout. And if you choose to go with this run, okay, with this run until 4,000, 400,000, every single time you'll go, you will be able to request the payout without hitting the profit goal. Profit goal, you don't need to hit it. Whenever you'll make the profit, you'll get the payout or you'll request the payout. It is the funny thing of these guys. Okay, so right now they have the great opportunity, so I thought, okay, if any of you would love to give it a try, just spend $76, request $100 for passing the evaluation, request $100, and then let it go until this area. So you spent $76, you already requested $100, you have nothing you paid, right? Let it run. If you can reach until the 400,000, in the meantime you will be able to request the payout every time. So all of this area you will be able to request your payout. You don't need to worry about anything else like that. But my thinking is, if you can go here, like say this profit goal is $40,000, you don't need to make $40,000. Like you make maybe $1,000, you'll be able to request 80% of that profit. 80% of them, 20% you have to let go, and later when you'll target is matched, then you'll be able to request the 20% of it. Futures firm, it's a futures firm. Good, thank you. I took a lucid, great offer. Hey, don't you, did you use my code T2 wizard? Please make sure that you have used the code T2 wizard. It's a request, brother. Thank you so much for using my code. Okay, thank you so much, guys. It's been, I mean, a lot of things. I got 130 likes. Wow, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, it didn't actually reach until here. I'm so sorry. I was thinking that it will reach over here, but it didn't. But it's okay. Still, you are profitable. It should be profitable, at least from that trade. If one runner doesn't work, it doesn't mean that you are dumped. However, guys, thank you so much for being over here. You have any question? If you don't, I'd love to close the stream. I mean, I'm done. Okay, so I don't want to wait until 11:30 to find another opportunity. It's more than enough for a day. Make sure that you have pushed the like button before leaving and subscribe to our channel. Of course, thank you so much, Itanich. I love you, man. I love you, I love you, I love you. Use the same rules, one win, two loss, maximum 3 micro contract. Target is 200 to 300. That's all, brother. Thank you, Filtrator. Okay, guys. See you next day. Until then, cheers.